sat his ass on the bench is because he wasn't good.
It was because he was black.
No, it was because he wasn't good.
No, he's black.
No, it turns out he wasn't good.
No, he was black.
Yes, he was, and not good.
But he was half white, so it was a conflict. The coach was like, "Oh, what do I do? What do I do?"
Put him in for half the game.
That was a smart joke there. That was good.
All of my jokes are good.
They're not. They're not all so good. No.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Oh,
You want
to
look? We went to Chicago, didn't get murdered.
We got a couple things about Chicago, and the saddest one is astronauts. I used to love astronauts.
No, I mean we were there. Is what I'm saying.
Oh well, we can do that, and then we can go into the 15 stories we have on Chicago.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
We went to a convention for a private something or other, and it wasn't the porn academies or whatever it was.
No, we've been banned from that one.
Yeah, we can't go back there. Apparently, we're too vulgar.
Well, just you, not me.
You can come back anytime. No, we went to a marketing convention, and we had a good time.
Yeah. Didn't learn anything.
No, that's not true. You
Yeah,
learned a lot of stuff. I mostly was in the bar. And
that is true.
and the bar was called Bananas.
Actually true. It was.
You know, I had a fruit plate the next day for breakfast.
No bananas?
Not one damn banana in it.
You would have thought that's all you had.
All
Can I have
kinds
a fruit
of
plate?
melons,
Just
which
bananas.
I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, that's
but
weird.
No
Well, I mean,
bananas.
it's because they don't grow bananas in Chicago.
You know why I like bananas?
It wasn't actually Chicago. What was it?
We were. Do you want to say where we were?
No.
Okay, we were in a southeast suburb.
Because it's very important that we don't say it because people might go look for us.
Well, we're not there now.
Right.
You know why I like bananas? They don't have bones. Now, the thing is, we were in a nice subdivision. We drove around the neighborhoods. A lot of nice cars.
What are you talking about?
When we were up in Chicago area. We were in the greater Chicago area.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A lot of nice cars, remember?
Except on the east side.
East side of Harlem Avenue, bad. That'll narrow it down. Well, there's lots of towns along that stretch. None of them Harlem. But we were advised to stay away from one side of the street or the other.
Yeah, and I don't know. We didn't avoid
the good thing about Chicago or Illinois and Chicago area now is we can carry guns there in our vehicle if we have a concealed pistol license.
And in
from
our
home
fanny
state.
packs for those of you that carry fanny packs.
Unloaded in a fanny pack apparently can be legal there in Chicago, but I don't know.
Well, unloaded in a case, right? So, I mean...
Well, it just said, unloaded on a case. So I guess you could have it strapped on your belt.
Or I have a little Kel-Tec that the case
is
like the size of a small calculator. The case fits in my pocket.
And you're like, oh, yeah? I don't know if it has to be concealed or not. But it would. You're a nerd anyways. You're an engineer, a computer engineer.
Just put in my pocket protector.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
I would call it the pocket protector.
Ooh, beautiful.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I bet there is
along
one
with your
there.
slide rule. Have you ever used a slide rule?
My abacus.
You have never used a slide rule. I know you haven't because I didn't even use one when I went to college.
Do you want to know what? There's zero reason to use a slide rule.
You know, I had a professor in my geophysics class. And he bet us that he could figure out an answer using a slide rule over us using a calculator. This was in the early 80s.
And?
He did.
Okay. That's sad.
Mostly because we're idiots.
You guys were really bad
smart,
at using the he stole your batteries.
He could do all kinds. God, he was a smart man. No, mostly because we were all still drunk from the night before. What's a calculator? No, we really did. It was cool. It was still. Give me a problem. 63.
Yeah. It was 64 minus 1.
No. No, he was doing like logs and natural logs and all kinds of stuff with it.
Okay.
Let's see.
You remember Gabby Giffords? I mean, horrible story. I think in Arizona.
She was a U.S. representative.
Got shot.
Yep.
Right. And then, of course, the anti-gun lobby got a hold of her and turned her into, sort of a spokesperson, figurehead for the anti-gun movement.
And her husband, an astronaut, Mark Kelly,
who is also part of the anti-gun movement.
Yeah, they're both together. They formed some group or organization.
Yeah.
I'm sure funded by Bloomberg.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They probably get a nice salary for it.
But it turns out he actually likes guns quite a bit.
Yeah, and so does she.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want you to have guns.
Right. It's weird.
So they're working with the Illinois legislature, and they want to create a law that requires all employees of gun shops to have background checks. Right?
Okay.
So you go, which most of those guys have, I don't know about, this is Illinois, so most of these guys in Illinois have concealed pistol license, or they have a FOIA card, which is an FOID, which is a firearm owner's
Which
ID.
you've had a background check
They do a background check.
I would say so.
So they've already had background checks, but this idiot doesn't know that.
Also, well, not all of them necessarily,
But
most employers, I mean,
do a
not
background
small-time
check.
employers necessarily,
Yeah.
but most employers do a background check before they hire you anyway.
So this is a quote right from him. He said,
Well, I take that back. I don't know if most do, but a lot do.
okay. So this is, but regardless of all that, this is what he said. Requiring all employees of gun shops to be background checked instead of just the person holding the business license will cut down on violent crime in Illinois.
How? I don't
know.
I'm guessing because there's more here, right? I'm guessing you're going to go on to say how he explained the statistics that show people that work at gun shops commit a lot of violent crime.
Yeah, you'd think that, but he didn't really say that. This is what he said. He said there are often people who work. Often. That means more than average, right? Often.
I think so.
Who work at licensed gun dealers who traffic in firearms. Well,
that's their job.
That's
first
true.
of all. Okay.
They might sell guns out the back.
Uh-huh.
Right? I'm sure their boss would appreciate that, right? So they're not doing that. Or be aware of straw purchases that are occurring and either allow it to continue or to occur, or often are involved in it.
Okay.
So most gun shop owners and people that work there are selling illegal firearms. That's what he's saying.
Which, by the way, is illegal.
Yeah,
right?
And it doesn't happen very often.
No, and the background check isn't going to stop it.
No.
Because it's illegal.
Right. So even if they came back with a perfect background check, they could still do it.
They sure could.
All right.
And if they've done it and gotten caught, then we already know that they're criminals and they're not going back probably to work at a gun store again.
So this is his claim too. He's also alleged. Now, hang on to your pants. You're sitting down, right, Nate?
I'm sitting.
He said that 40% of guns found at crime scenes in Illinois came from gun stores.
You've got to be kidding me.
Really? I thought the guns came out of my butt.
They came. 40%?
40% come out of my ass.
Slightly less than half of all guns were purchased where you purchase guns?
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's like saying that 40% of cars in accidents were purchased at a dealership.
Really?
And almost 100% of cars driven by people were at one time bought from a gun dealer. Or from a gun dealer, from a car dealer.
Because gun dealers, they don't make much money selling guns, so they have to sell.
What an asinine statement. This guy is stupid. And he's a frickin' astronaut? An astronaut? What the? Where am I from? France? I don't know.
Indiana.
So 40% of guns are bought at gun stores. I mean, that's an incredible statistic.
I have a feeling that it's low. The 40%. I think that's probably low.
Yeah, I would think that at some point 100% came from gun stores, or I don't know. Well, maybe not. Well, police departments.
What does from a gun store mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you buy guns from dealers, maybe, if you're like buying
that's what
1,000 of them for a police department.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's a small percentage.
Most of them probably came from a gun manufacturer, though. So if we
change that,
if we target there,
and then let's sue them.
The only thing that Bernie Sanders has ever gotten right in his life.
Absolutely asinine. Mark Kelly, you're an idiot. Chicago police say that gun buybacks may have taken hundreds of guns off the streets, but admit they aren't the ones causing problems.
But 40% of them did come from gun stores.
Yeah, so I think we'll just keep doing these gun buybacks because we think it's a good use of manpower and money. No, I added that. The thing about guns.
Well, this is from just some random dude, right?
Yeah, this is Sal. Dandria.
It doesn't matter.
Sal Dandria. He was one of the people in Orland Park.
He's almost as dumb as Mark.
He said, the thing about guns, it's your constitutional right to have it, but the ones that shouldn't have it should be in this program and turned in.
Sure. Okay.
So
I can buy that.
So
I can buy
Sal's
that.
saying all the bad guys out there, come in here and sell your guns.
Well, isn't that what a gun buyback does?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Okay, this is what he did, though.
Well, this was good.
Sal said he didn't want an old family heirloom to get stolen.
Right. And I wouldn't. I
wouldn't
don't want
one
my
either.
old family heirlooms to get stolen either.
No.
How could I avoid that then?
So what you do, if you don't want it to get stolen, you turn it in where it'll be destroyed.
Oh, and then it'll never get stolen.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I bought a pistol, but I felt it was better that it be destroyed than stolen, which makes sense, I guess, but really then you don't care much about the family heirloom.
Yeah, right. The fact that it was family heirloom didn't mean anything.
Then we have Dr. Flegler.
Yeah, it starts with a P. I don't know.
Yeah, it's PF. It's Fegler. Okay. He said, we got a
Flegler.
deal in America with this love affair of guns. Somehow we think guns make us safer when every statistic is saying it doesn't. Well, that's wrong.
Yeah, actually, I don't know of a single statistic that says that.
There's not any that support that.
I can't think of one.
So he's perpetuating that lie. And he's outraged that 1,030 people get shot in Chicago. Well, really, you're outraged? I would be too, but let's look at the cause of that.
Well, it's certainly not people using firearms legally.
And then
right.
even the Chicago police superintendent said he knows many of the people who would come into these buyback events aren't the one causing problems. So, but we'll continue to have them because it's good political theater. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's horrible. Let's take a break. First, though, I want to mention something very, very sad that is not very important at all. But I was reminded by one of our loyal listeners.
Also, have a trivia.
Prince died.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
And you know what? They found that he had prescription drugs in his pocket, and also another place where you rarely find prescription drugs, in his home.
Are you kidding me?
I know it. I know.
On his person and in his home?
Yes, the two places that you would never think you would find prescription drugs.
Have you seen his home?
Yes.
I think I would say that Cobo Hall is smaller.
Yeah, it is a nice.
He has a
nice home.
Fully concert hall, recording studios, apartments, kitchens.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I?
If you were Prince.
If I were the Prince, I would have all that and more.
Yeah. Still waiting the autopsy results.
Died in his elevator. So he has an elevator in his house. Yeah. He needed it because it's like 4 stories high.
Yeah. Holy cow! I want an elevator.
He had concerts there. He had bands playing. He invited people. He had a parking lot that was lit. It was like an entertainment facility.
Well, that was his life.
And then he had a separate living quarters. Beautiful stuff.
Do you know who his doctor was? Is it the?
I heard rumors it was the same one that Michael Jackson, but I think he's in prison or lost his license, so I don't think that's true.
Oh, and if he lost his license, we know that he would not.
He would never practice
right.
anymore. And
did he have a background check before he worked with Michael Jackson?
The DEA have been called in.
They have?
The feds have been called in now, even though it's a state issue.
because they found some drugs.
They found some prescription drugs, and so they got to look at it.
They don't have the autopsy results yet, so they don't know the cause of death at all, supposedly.
So does the DEA deal with legal drugs? Wouldn't that be the FDA?
Maybe they found other things, too. I'm guessing there was some marijuana in there. Marijuana is the gateway to prescription drugs.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you knew that.
Not the devil weed.
Let's do it.
Well, wait a minute. I got a trivia question. So
that's what I'm saying.
Who was the first president?
I know the answer.
And this is kind of
Washington,
because I have the second one, too. Who was the first president to travel underwater in a submarine? And it wasn't yellow, I don't think.
The one we all live in?
So it wasn't Roy Orbison.
Yeah, Roy Orbison. All right, we'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion.